Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Good morning. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday morning. Happy September 24th, my friends. We got ourselves a lot of new information regarding the storm here. We have gotten a lot of new updates and stuff like that, including I am under a tropical storm watch now. That is lovely. But what's up everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Let's see who we got here this morning. We got Crystal, we have Tabletop, we have Chris. Let's see here. We got Rich, we have Divinely, we have Weatherman, we have Mr. Barrel, and of course everybody else who is here hanging out with us. Obviously good to have you guys here. Once again, thanks for joining. Let's see, Crystal, a tropical storm member for 20 months. Wow. Thank you so much for your support, Crystal. Greatly appreciated. Saying, wow, 20 months, almost 2 years. Keep it up, Andrew. Thank you so much. Well, it's been a while, isn't it? I tell you what, 20 months anymore goes by way, way, way too fast. But anyways, my friends, well, we got ourselves a lot of updates here. First of all, let's take a look at the storm. Let's see what she's looking like right now. So this is the storm right now. You can kind of see it's just east of the Yucatan Peninsula, just south here of Cuba. There's a lot of convection. We still need to get that center low circularized. It still has a little bit of work to do before it becomes a named storm, but I do believe that this thing will become Helene later on today. So we'll have to continue monitoring that. But yeah, there's a lot of convection really on the eastern side of the storm here. We really need a lot of that convection to go around the core, in which, like I mentioned, we'll probably see that here later on today. Now, there is actually new watches, new warnings have been issued. So let's go ahead and hop over here to the Hurricane Center. And let's see what we got going on here. So we got potential tropical cyclone 9. We got some storm surge forecasts here for you guys here. First of all, let's just start with the cone. So all these pink areas, these are hurricane watches in effect there for the Big Bend of Florida, and even including the Tampa Bay and slightly south out there by, I believe, even Sarasota has hurricane watches in effect. And of course we have these yellow indicators here. These are tropical storm watches here. Let's go ahead and use the new cone here. So you can kind of see there that those tropical storm watches even go to like Orange County out there by Orlando. They literally go all the way up there near Cape Canaveral, actually. So, you know, those tropical storm watches go inland pretty far. And of course, like I mentioned, the hurricane watch is in effect here for portions of the eastern panhandle and the Big Bend of Florida. That is where those hurricane watches, where hurricane conditions are possible. Those will probably be needed to be upgraded to warnings later on this evening or tomorrow morning. So we do have ourselves those hurricane watches in effect. Now, obviously, we still have hurricane watches in effect here for the northeastern tip of the Yucatan Peninsula and western Cuba, along with tropical storm warnings here in the blue, representing that we do have ourselves, you know, tropical storm conditions that is expected. So obviously, the imminent impacts here is for the the Yucatan, the eastern northeast tip of the Yucatan and western Cuba. Those areas are getting ready to be impacted here, pretty much by tomorrow. Actually, you'll probably start feeling those effects here probably late tonight. And into tomorrow, that's where the heaviest impacts will be out there towards, Cuba, as well as portions of northeastern Yucatan. But anyways, so we're expected to become a hurricane tomorrow here as well. By the afternoon tomorrow, she should be right around Category 1 strength. We're going to hop on back over here to the main cone here, over here too. So at that point in time, as we approach the afternoon here for Wednesday, we're going to have sustained winds around 75. That's like low-end Category 1 strength. However, we're going to be gusting up to nearly 90 miles an hour at that point here. So that'll be right there for right around 2 p.m. Here for tomorrow being Wednesday. And then, of course, as we work our way up here to the north here by the morning of Thursday. Now, Thursday's the big day, okay? Thursday is going to be the big day for Florida. So for early Thursday morning here, we have that 2 a.m. marker here showing that the storm is going to be sustained around 90 miles an hour. That is an upper level Category 1. With maximum wind gusts getting up to 115 miles per hour. Then, of course, as we approach our way into the afternoon for Saturday here, the Hurricane Center has this thing sustained at 115 with gusts getting up to 140 miles an hour. That's for the 2 o'clock marker here for Thursday. Like I mentioned, Thursday is going to be the big day. Now, obviously, there's no marker for the landfall point, but we're probably going to be somewhere around maybe upper level Category 3 or lower end Category 4 upon landfall out there towards the Big Bend. That's what I believe. That's what the models have really been suggesting for a little bit. We'll get into those here in a minute, but overall, it seems like the models have really been kicking up on some pretty nasty activity with the storm here. But anyways, so landfall could be between as far east as St. Petersburg all the way up towards like Apalachicola, just east of Panama City. That's where the cone is. Now, I want to remind you guys, I want to tell you guys, here's the thing, man. A lot of people don't understand that the cone is where the center of the storm could ultimately end up. That is not the region where the effects are going to be felt, okay? So I want you guys to keep that in mind, okay? So the core, the eye of the storm could go as far east as areas near St. Petersburg or as far west as, areas towards like Port St. Joe, out there towards like Apalachicola, as far west as that. So the eye of the storm theoretically could make landfall over here, or it could make landfall over here. We still have this error margin that we need to be looking out there for. But the core, the eye of the storm, is currently forecasted to make landfall around these areas here, okay? Now, like I mentioned, this is not where the effects are going to be felt. This is a really big storm. It's not just a strong storm, but it's also a very wide storm, too. So there's actually going to be impacts even into the central peninsula. I mean, we're going to feel it throughout much of Florida. We're going to feel this system throughout much of Florida. Let's see here. Let's see, Helene. Oh, yeah. Yep, Helene's the next thing. Hi, Helene's French for Helene. Interesting. Or is it Ellen? Helene? I don't know. What's up, Dylan? Gonna be felt everywhere. Yeah, it will. It will be felt throughout a lot of Florida here, and like I mentioned, also Georgia too. Current Hurricane Center. Oh shoot. Current Hurricane Center guidance here. We have it actually in upper tropical storm strength as we approach like south central Georgia. So she's still going to be, still a fairly strong storm by the time we even get up into Georgia. And like I mentioned, I do want you folks up in Georgia to monitor this too, because there will likely be some impacts. Anyways, let's hop into models, guys. We're gonna take a look at those. We're gonna see what's going on out here. Like I mentioned, we got a lot of new updates with the models and such too. So let's go ahead and hop on over here to the Western Atlantic view. So this is the 06 Zulu GFS. This is the brand new, or the most recent run of the GFS that we do have. We should have a new run coming out here in about an hour or so. Anyway, so yeah, basically as expected, the storm, currently is, like I said, not a storm or a depression yet, but it should become one later today. And as we approach our way towards the tip of the Yucatan Peninsula and western Cuba, there is a chance that this storm could be a hurricane by then. The Hurricane Center, like I said, had it at Category 1, low-end Cat 1, as we approach the little gap here between the Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba. Then, of course, we continue to work our way up here in time, and according to the latest GFS here, it does look a little bit better, but still overall a pretty gnarly storm. So this model has those impacts really starting to be felt pretty much here by the late portion of tomorrow. We're going to start feeling those impacts tomorrow evening throughout portions like, the southwestern coast of Florida, including the Keys and the Dry Tortugas. We're going to start feeling the impacts tomorrow night, okay? And then, of course, as we continue to progress in time, those conditions are going to continue to deteriorate along Florida's western coast and start to pick up on Florida's eastern coast as well. This is by the morning of Thursday. Once again, Thursday's the big day here. Then, of course, we get even closer. At this point in time, as we approach the morning of the 26th, there is a shot that Sarasota in like the Tampa Bay area could be experiencing tropical storm conditions. That is according to the GFS model. And like I mentioned, you can actually see those winds picking up here along the eastern side of Florida, which could cause a bit of swelling and a bit of surges in some of those areas. We're going to look at the surge map here in a minute. So we'll have to watch out there for that. But by far the heaviest of the surges is going to be right there in the Big Bend. Now, we are expecting around 10 to 15 foot of storm surge. That is the latest guidance here. Let's go ahead and hop over here to the Hurricane Center here. We're going to go ahead and bring up our storm surge map here. So there you go. So there's our latest storm surge map here overall. We are talking, like I mentioned, a good 10 to 15 foot storm surge out here. Out there towards the Big Bend of Florida. The Tampa Bay, look at this, 5 to 8 foot of storm surge. So if you live out there in Tampa Bay, around 5 to 8 foot worth of storm surge is expected out there. So definitely need to be watching out there for that. And out there by Punta Gorda area towards like Fort Myers, we're going to be roughly around 3 to 5 foot of storm surge out there. The Keys could experience around 1 to 3, including the Dried Tortugas, 1 to 3 foot overall. Let's see here. What's up, ATR? Saying, I'm in upstate South Carolina. What do I think I will get? I'm in Greenwood, South Carolina campus. Gotcha. So for upper South Carolina, at the time that the storm gets there, it's obviously going to be rapidly deteriorating, but there is a chance that the storm could still be a tropical storm by the time it gets to you. This model kind of has it going more east than the current cone has it. But yeah, no, it could be possible to experience some tropical storm conditions out there. We'll have to see how that goes, but it depends on what model you look at. Some models support it, some models are a little more hesitant on that. Some of the models actually have it going more up towards like central Georgia than cutting into like Tennessee. The GFS actually has it going into like northwestern South Carolina here. So, I do think that it could be something to watch for your area. Absolutely. You can see that South Carolina could have some pretty strong winds here, about 30, 40 knot wind barbs. So that would bring us into like lower tropical storm force potentially. What about Pace in Milton, Florida? Here, let's hop over here real quickly. Pace, Florida. Let's see here. Let's see what we can do for you. Oh, okay. This is like out there by Pensacola area. Okay, so this area is going to be relatively fine. We're not going to be seeing too much craziness out here. Yeah, there's not even any tropical storm watches or anything. Yeah, you're going to be hardly affected by the storm. Now, I will say this. It will likely get a little windy. It'll likely be windy, but we're not going to be expecting any tropical storm conditions or anything like that out there. Most of those impacts will be to your east overall. And you said Milton, too. Is that nearby? Let's see. Milton, Florida. Yeah, so basically those two same areas. Yeah, same thing. Honestly, not going to be too much impactful for you. Yeah, a lot of the nastiest impacts is going to be out there towards the Big Bend, and like I mentioned, the main peninsula is actually going to be having a tornado threat too. We got that cyclone-induced tornadic activity due to a violent change in wind speed and wind direction with altitude. These little wind barbs, they really start churning with altitude, which creates the environment. Plus, that's where your instability and stuff like that is for tornadoes. So that's another thing we're gonna have to watch out throughout the Panhandle. But that does not apply to you out there in the western Panhandle towards Lake Pensacola. No, you'll be fine. It's not gonna be that big of a storm for you. Let's see, Category 4 or less. I think it'll be anywhere from upper Cat 3 to lower Cat 4 at landfall. We'll have to see how it goes. I mean, we still have a lot of time for things to happen with the storm. We'll just have to see how it handles the waters. We'll just have to, continue monitoring it. There's going to be a lot of Hurricane Hunter aircraft flying into it, so we're going to constantly be studying it. You got to remember, the models ain't perfect. They're good for guidance purposes, but they're never perfect. Let's see here. What about Homosassa, Florida? Let's see here. Homosassa. Is that how you say it? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Here, let's check on that real quickly for you. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you're in the cone. So yeah, the core more than likely will be to your west. The core of the storm that would put you in for some probably pretty decent impacts. If you're on the coast, there certainly could be some issues. There is, I believe, hurricane watches in effect, for you. So hurricane conditions possible. So keep that in mind. Surges out that way could be pretty high, actually. Upwards of around 6 to 10 foot. You're kind of right there between the two lines here, between like 10 to 15 and 6 to 10. More than likely, the eye will be to your west, but remember, you're in the cone, so it's theoretically still possible that the center of the storm could go nearby, or it could go as far west as like Apalachicola. So, but yeah, no, certainly, regardless, you're going to be feeling some impacts with the storm here, and I hope you're prepared. If you're not prepared, guys, please get prepared today. I cannot stress it enough. You guys got to be ready for this. Let's see. Great job. Thank you. You're very welcome. No problem. What do I think about Mariana, Florida? We got hit by Michael last time. Oh, yeah. Michael was a bad one. Let's see here. Mariana, Florida. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, yeah. So you're in the cone. You're actually in the western cone. More than likely, so the majority of the cone's to your east, so more than likely that the core, the eye of the storm is going to be east of you, which would put you in what we call the clean side of the storm, which would keep you out of a tornado threat, so you wouldn't be any threat for tornadoes. But since you're far inland, there's obviously no coastal impacts for your area, but there would probably be still some strong winds out there. So keep it out there for that, especially if you live, near a lot of trees and stuff like that. So that could be a problem. Let's see here. Meteorologist that I watched said that there's going to be a cutoff low that is going to pull. There's a Fujiwara effect going on here. So we basically have another low positioned over towards the Midwest. It's going to these two low pressure systems are going to kind of dance with each other and kind of, suck the storm up towards like Tennessee. But by the time then, a lot of the winds will be depleted, and it would be just mostly a rain concern. Did it move away from Panama City and more to the east? So I don't remember if the cone included Panama City. I think it might have yesterday. Anyways, Panama City's not in the cone anymore. However, like I said, that does not mean that you're going to not feel any effects. The majority are obviously the core of the storm, the eye of the storm is expected to be east of you. So for your area, like I mentioned, this is not where the effects are going to be felt. That's a big thing that people kind of don't understand. This is where the center of the storm could go. Like I said, the eye of the storm could go over here, or it could go down here toward Tampa. That there's still that margin of error. So the core, the eye of the storm could make landfall there. Like I said, this is a big storm. I mean, this is going to affect a lot of Florida. A lot of people, most of the people in Florida are going to feel it. Some stronger than others, of course. Let's see here. I live near Ocala. Hope it stays west. Ocala. Yeah, obviously you're over here. You're inland. which is good. So you're not going to have any coastal impacts or anything like that. But yeah, absolutely. You should be fine, but I would expect some strong winds. We're definitely going to feel it out there in Ocala. Overall. So here's actually the latest rainfall map, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up for you guys. So actually out there by the landfall point, they actually upgraded the WPC. The WPC actually upgraded the rainfall totals to right around 8 to 12 inches of rainfall out there. So along the Apalachicola area, we could pick up a good, potentially locally up to a foot or so. So pretty good amount of rainfall out there. Tallahassee could pick up around 6 to 8 inches. Tampa Bay could pick up around 4 to 6. Orlando, like 2 to 4. Miami, 2 to 4. Key West, 2 to 4. So, yeah, keep an eye out there for that. And you can actually see that there's quite a bit of rainfall that does accumulate up there towards like the Smoky Mountains area, like western North Carolina, northern Georgia, portions along like Tennessee. There's going to be a lot of the remains of a lot of rainfall. The winds at this point would be, it could still be a little gusty in some spots, but the majority of the main damaging winds are going to be done by then. But yeah, good amount of rain though. Look at this, really bringing up a lot of rain for a lot of people. I mean, even up there towards here, I'm going to zoom up a little bit. You can even see up there, like in Illinois, we could see like Springfield, like right on the line of 1 to 2 and 2 to 4 inches of rain. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are going to feel the rain from this thing, regardless. It's going to be a pretty rainy system for a lot of people. Let's see. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. No problem, my friend. Like I said, we're here for you. Tabletop, no, you should not be worrying in Wilmington. You're probably not going to feel too much of this. Let's see here. Cruise ships, stay away. Yeah. Crystal, don't worry about it. Cruise ships, obviously the people on board know what's going on. They should be fine. Just like planes and cruise ships, they navigate around these things. They're saying that Tampa Bay will drain the water out like a few years back. Well, like I mentioned, Tampa Bay could seriously feel some surges. I mean, we're talking 5 to 8 foot above sea level. So that's going to be pretty bad for Tampa. Especially like the boat docks and stuff like that. That's going to be 5 to 8 foot above normal. So, that surge it could cause some damage out there by Tampa Bay. That's kind of what I'm a little concerned for the Tampa Bay area. That's why I want you to prepare now. I think I could be wrong on this. Okay, so don't take this, too seriously. But I think I've heard somewhere they already have evacuation orders for some of the inlet areas of Tampa Bay. I could be wrong for those lower elevation areas due to the storm surge. So, yeah, but once again, about 5 to 8 foot is expected out there. Let's see here. What about Jacksonville? Jacksonville, so here's the thing. Let's go and hop back to the models here real quickly. We're going to make that look a little better for y'all. So, as you can see, as the storm makes landfall towards the Big Bend, due to the nature of these storms, they rotate counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere. So those winds are actually going to be picking up again along the coast here, including out there towards like Jacksonville Beach area. We're going to be feeling some pretty strong winds. So there certainly is going to be some impacts. I do believe that there could be some swelling, maybe some surges out in this region. They don't have it listed yet, but I do think if this did materialize, there could be some surges. Obviously not as bad as the area of landfall, but there would probably be a bit of swelling up there towards like, the region of Jacksonville Beach and stuff like that, just due to the fact that those winds are going to be kind of aiming at the coast there. Not to mention there's going to be a big rip current concern throughout the coast as well. So yeah, you don't want to be out in that. Let's see here. Last night they were saying that John was going to remove the dry air in the Gulf. Did it? I don't know about all that. Let's look at the. Let's see. We'll grab a Gulf of Mexico view. Satellite imagery here, and we'll pull up the water vapor. I mean, so you can see these darker colors here. That's relatively drier air. There is a big little area here of moisture. The storm right now has a lot of moisture for it, but not necessarily. I mean, there is still definitely some dry air up in the Gulf right now. So I don't know where you heard that, but no. What would have to happen for me to get a tornado risk in western South Carolina if it moves across Georgia? So That tornado threat will be for, like I said, Florida. And as that storm kind of digs inland, the eastern side, I mean, even up in the Carolinas, could potentially see a tornado threat. I mean, we'll have to see how the storm holds together. Obviously, if it dies out quicker than expected, then, that could make the conditions a little bit better. But I certainly do believe that there could be a tornado threat. Let me check and see the instability out here. If there's even still some, there should be still some instability here. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of the instability. Yeah, so there's certainly going to be still some instability, still some convective energy available for convection, and the wind shear, of course, is going to be supportive. Yeah, I got a little bit of a veering wind shear pattern. Yeah, I'm going to mostly focus on like Florida and Georgia right now, but I do think I wouldn't be surprised if there was a tornado threat that did get added for those areas at some point. We'll just have to see. What about Madison, Florida? Let's take a look at Madison, Florida. By the way, guys, if you could do me a favor, consider sharing this with your friends and family. Help get that word out there. Okay, so Madison's actually like in the middle of the cone. However, you are, you're inland, so you're not on the coast, so you're not going to feel those really nasty impacts with the storm surge or anything like that. No, you're good with that. But there's still a possibility you'll be experiencing some hurricane force winds. It is going to be very windy for you. So prepare for that. Prepare for power outages. Make sure you have everything in check. Matter of fact, here's something I want to go ahead and show you guys again. I made this list a while back. This is just a few items that you should have with you in your safe spot. Food and water. Obviously food. Make sure it's non-perishable. So like canned goods like raviolis or like Vienna sausages or whatever you like. Something that doesn't require to be cooled down. So yeah, food and water, flashlight, extra battery, important documents such as insurance papers, social security, birth certificates, just important documents that you need. So keep that in your safe spot. Portable chargers, make sure they're charged, okay? Keep that in mind. Also, make sure there's gas in your car and generators, okay? So keep that in mind there, and make sure you have a first aid kit as well. Let's see here. Daddy Crab coming in with a $2 super chat. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Saying getting much needed precipitation in West Virginia. Got you. Let's actually hop back to that. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the 2. That's really, really sweet of you, and that helps me out a bunch. So thank you so much, man. Let me hop over here. Yeah, West Virginia's going to get some precip out of this here. You can see out there. Depends where you're at, but a lot of central northern side could pick up maybe 1 to 2 inches, which is there in you can see the graph or the key on the right hand side here. 1 to 2 possible up there towards like northern and central West Virginia. However, the southern side could pick up a little more, maybe 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. So yeah, West Virginia's going to get some rain out of this one for sure. A lot of rain's actually going to be falling up there towards those upper elevations of like western North Carolina. Those areas could pick up a good, what is that, 8 to 12 inches of rainfall? That is just, wow, that's a lot of rain. And that's far inland too, obviously. The winds at that point wouldn't be as strong. There would still likely be some gusty winds with the system, but the storm will be depleted, like I said, from that landfall interaction. Taking that warm water away from it, plus, that the drag from the land that causes on these storms here, which kind of just weakens them quickly. There's a lot of factors that go into weakening these things. That's why they just die out so quick. You're welcome. No problem. Let's see. I understand how a hurricane impacts land, human life, but never how it impacts sea life, does it? Under the water, I don't think it does much, honestly. I really don't think so. Let's see here. Northeastern West Virginia. Okay, so yeah, you'll probably get like maybe 1 to 2 inches, like towards the Panhandle. I have a friend that lives out here too. 1 to 2 inches of rainfall potentially. Appreciate the forecast. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. What about, let's see, McCanopy? Is that how you say that? McCanopy, Florida. Let's look. Let's see what we got going on for you. Let me see. McCanopy, Florida. Okay, yeah, you're in the cone here, so keep an eye out there for that. Anyways, anyways, so out there towards you're near Gainesville. So the good news is that, like I said, you're inland, so you're not going to be feeling those coastal impacts. Now the coasts out there by like Cedar Key could see like 10 to 15 foot of storm surge, but since you're far enough inland, you know you're not going to feel any coastal impacts, of course. However, you are still in the cone, so the core of the storm, like I said, in theory, it's unlikely, but you know it could come up nearby. The eye of the storm could theoretically come nearby, but you know, more than likely it'll be to your west, considering most of the cone is actually west of you here. Let's see. Crystal, thank you so much. Keep up the good work, Andrew. I appreciate that. Tabletop, Category 1 hurricane for 5 months, man. Thank you so much. Saying, do I think it'll be a 5% tornado for Eastern Carolinas? You know, I can't really tell you that right now. I'm not entirely too sure, to be honest with you, because there's still a lot of scenarios that could happen with the storm. I mean, it could go further west, which would probably limit your tornadic activity in the Carolinas. You know, and it could be weaker. So, you know, determining on how well the storm holds up, that's going to be a really big factor in terms of that. So, yeah, tabletop, it's kind of early to tell, man, honestly. But, you know, obviously as we continue to progress into the evolution of the storm here, we're gonna be talking about it. So if it becomes a threat, we'll let you know. Let's see here. Is Miami in the clear? So yeah, Miami's not going to experience a big, you know, like a landfall or anything like that. No, but Miami will not be completely unscathed. Like I mentioned before, Florida in general is going to feel this. You know, even in areas out there towards like Miami. Let's hop over here to the models again, so you can actually see here as we approach and as we get closer to Florida, you can actually see that those winds really pick up. And those winds are actually aimed right out there towards Miami. Now, according to the GFS, this is one model, so take this with a grain of salt here, but that could be maybe 30 miles an hour sustained. I mean, there could be some gusts that, up in the tropical storm force. So it'll definitely be windy out there. It'll definitely be windy out there. Let's see, Amanda says thank you. No problem. You're very welcome. Let's see, Warner Robins, Georgia. Okay, let's take a look at that. Yeah, also Georgia. My folks in Georgia, I do want you to pay attention to this storm too. It's not just going to be a problem for Florida. Okay, now Florida is going to take some of the heaviest impacts, but it's not just going to be for that. Yeah, now this area is actually so your area is actually in the middle of the cone. And at the time there, I mean, this thing could still be a tropical storm as it approaches you. So, there's still a realistic possibility that you could get some tropical storm conditions. The Hurricane Center has it still sustained, I mean, nearly even hurricane status at that point. I mean, 70 mile an hour sustained, that's just 5 short from a hurricane, Category 1. But she's upper level tropical storm, still gusting 85, and that's slightly to your south. So it would still be in tropical storm conditions potentially out there. So watch out for that. Obviously no coastal impacts and a good amount of rainfall, actually. You could see a good 4 to 6 inches here according to the WPC. So like I said, this is the rainfall map here, latest and greatest. And then your area there in the yellow, could see a good 4 to 6 inches. Good amount of rain. Absolutely. Enough to cause some flooding. So if you're in a low-lying area, make sure you prepare for that. Let's see. Advisory 5 for 09L is about to release. Yeah, it is. You're right. 11 o'clock, they usually update that. Oh. Typically, it's like 10:40, 10:50 when they get it out, but, it's the 11 o'clock update. Let's see. Hi from New Hampshire. What's up? Yeah, New Hampshire's not going to feel much of this one. Let's see here. Forest Oak Spring Hill. Let's see. Where is that at? I'm going to look that up. I don't know if my program's going to be able to take that, but we'll try it. Yeah, my program's not pulling it up. Let's see. We're about 45 miles from Atlanta. Oh, gotcha. I mean, the center of the storm could pass nearby Atlanta, as you can see here on the cone. At this time being, as we approach near Atlanta, it could be a weak tropical storm still, honestly. There still is a possibility it could be a weak tropical storm as we go up in the Atlanta area. Because like I mentioned, as we approach into south central Georgia here, we're still like almost a hurricane at that point. We're still sustained at 70. which is just, like I said, 5 short from a Cat 1, gust up to 85 still. So we're still gusting in hurricane strength at that point. Let's see. Temple, Georgia. Okay. Let's see here. Let's look at Temple, Georgia. Temple, Georgia. Oh, yeah, so you're in the cone here. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of out there towards Atlanta. Yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, it'll likely be windy out there. And, you could see a good amount of rainfall. There's actually some localized amounts here from the WPC that suggests maybe some localized areas north of you, or actually more regional areas north of you, of around like 6 to 8 inches of rainfall. But towards your area, you're just directly west. You're right on the line there, but mostly between like 4 to 6. But prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, of course. So regardless, there's going to be a lot of rain, and if you're in an area that's prone to flooding, make sure that you prepare accordingly for that, and seek higher ground if possible, if you have to. Let's see. Check on Abbeville, South Carolina. Of course. Guys, could you do me a favor? Like I said, consider sharing this, just to help get the word out there, man. Just post it on your Facebook wall or, Twitter or whatever, just to help out. I mean, like I said, you guys don't know, you could really help out some people by doing that. Okay, yeah, so this area's in the cone too, western South Carolina. So impacts are still a little iffy. But there will certainly be a lot of rainfall out there. Currently the projections here have you around like 4 to 6 inches. I mean, north of you could be near like 6 to 8. So yeah, regardless, a lot of rain for you too. Regarding the winds and stuff, like I said, it could be a weak tropical storm as it approaches just in your general area. But we'll have to see how quickly it kind of dies out here. Let's see here. Could it be a hurricane still as it goes into Georgia? Yeah, it will likely be a hurricane. The storm will likely be a hurricane up until we reach into southern Georgia. Yeah, but I mean, once it makes landfall, it's gonna weaken quickly. But it still will. It still will be a hurricane in southern Georgia. Yes. Let's see. Can I please check on, I have no idea how you say that, Myanmar, maybe? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm not too sure how you pronounce some of these names. Let's see here. Myanmar. That's in Israel. I don't think I can look over there. Not to mention, I don't think the storm's going to impact out there. Am I going to evacuate? No, there's no need to evacuate. I'm in Lakeland, Polk County. I'll be fine. I mean, it'll get a little windy for me, a bit of rain, but yeah, it shouldn't be anything too crazy. Let's see. Looks like new convection exploding around the center. Hey, let's look. Let's see what's going on. So this is the current storm here. So the core, the center, you can kind of see is right in here. Yeah, there's definitely a good amount of convection on the eastern side right now. It does seem like, there's still... Yeah, we're getting some convection popping off here on the western, towards the central side. Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned, this thing will likely gain its name here tonight. So it'll be Helene tonight, more than likely. We'll see. Let's see. My husband and I have COVID. Oh! I hope you feel better. Yeah, I've had it a couple times. It's not the best. Would I have a tornado threat? Where at? Is that South Carolina? Like I said, we don't really know. Were you in South Carolina? Sorry, I forget sometimes. I have a lot of people to go through here. Let's see here. Dave! My man Dave just bought a shirt from our store. Thank you so much, Dave. Saying thanks for your channel. I appreciate your support, man. I hope you enjoy your shirt. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much, Dave. Big shout out, ST man. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys want to check out our merch, it's in our description too, which I appreciate that. Thank you, Dave. That's awesome, dude. Let's see. Yeah, but like I said, we're gonna continue watching the Carolinas for a potential threat for that, but we'll see. Have we talked about Orlando impacts? Yeah, so Orlando, since we're far inland, is not going to be feeling the craziest of the storm. However, we do have tropical storm watches. Here, let's go ahead and pull those up. Tropical storm conditions are certainly possible up in Orlando. That's actually a lot throughout a lot of central Florida. Let's see here. Tropical storm watches. Yeah, so you can see that, Orlando, Orange County here has those. I mean, they almost go out towards like Cape Canaveral. I mean, yeah, you can see Lakeland. This is where I'm at here. I'm just slightly east of Tampa. But yeah, we got tropical storm watches. I mean, they go throughout pretty much a lot of the West Coast here. And then we got actually hurricane watches in effect for like Sarasota and Tampa Bay area. Yeah, Tampa's under hurricane watch actually. Let's see, Liam's mama. Thank you so much. Welcome to Tropical Storm Team. Appreciate that. Thank you for your support, my friend. Thank you. Davis Daddy Crab. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate your support. That's really sweet of you, man. Thank you. Let's see. What was I gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna pull up those hurricane watches here. Tropical hurricane watches. Here you go. Yeah, so the hurricane watches are in pink here. You can see. So that does go through like Englewood, South Venice, Sarasota, Siesta Key. Let's see, Bradenton, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Palm Harbor. Like Clearwater. Goes up towards Elfers, I think that's how you say it. Homosassa Springs, Cedar Key, Horseshoe Beach, yeah, and then it goes a lot further inland, just shy of Ocala, actually. Yeah, just shy of Ocala. I think, yeah, Ocala's in the tropical storm watches, but they are right on the edge of those watches for hurricanes. Live Oak, a lot of the Panhandle is under the hurricane watch here. Let's see. What about Santa Rosa Beach? Let's look and see. See what's going on here. Is it Santa Rosa Island, I'm guessing? Yeah, areas out here by like Pensacola is not going to be as impacted. There's no watches or anything like that in effect. Now, it'll probably be a little windy, of course, just due to the fact that we have a storm nearby. But it wouldn't be anything of like big concern. So, yeah. Probably wouldn't be much of anything. Now, I would honestly believe that there would probably be some rip current concerns considering that storm's nearby. And as that system, makes landfall here, you're going to have that kind of clockwise movement that actually might pull some water away from the coast here as it approaches. So, yeah, there very well could be some like rip current concerns too. Let's see. Lady B says, "Hey, from the Big Bend to Florida, preparing underwear, cleaning the house. So you stock it up on pet food and wine." I mean, you do you, my friend. So the essentials. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad to see you're preparing. Obviously really, really good. Yeah, make sure you're prepared by today, guys, if you guys can. I mean, you have tomorrow to prepare too, but the longer you wait, the more it's, like I mentioned, the more it's going to be unknown if you're going to even be able to find anything. So... But yeah, so I'm glad to see you're preparing, though, and that's very, very good. We definitely need to prepare out here. What about the storm shifting east? Big trouble for Florida. So as of now, like I said, the cone suggests that the storm could theoretically go as far east as Tampa, St. Pete. That would be more of a destructive turn for the storm because Tampa area, that would be pretty bad. That would also increase the winds probably more towards like central Florida in that scenario. I mean, or like I said, it could go further west towards like Apalachicola, which would, make conditions probably a little bit better out there. Certainly not as crazy. Oh my gosh, dude! Proxy coming in with a $75 super chat. Thank you so much, Prox. That is awesome, dude. Holy cow, Proxy, thank you. Saying hi as you're watching your hurricane covered stream. Stay safe. Thank you, Proxy. I greatly appreciate that. That is really, really sweet of you. Thank you, Prox, as always. Huge supporter. Yeah, Proxy's our top supporter, so big shout out always because of Proxy. Thank you so much, Proxy. You are amazing. I really appreciate that, my friend. Y'all, please give Proxy a big thank you for the support. Proxy really helps us keep rolling through here, so I appreciate the funds, Proxy. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see here. because Savannah, Georgia is not in the cone. I have no impact. No, that's actually a big misconception that a lot of people have. So, like I mentioned, the cone exists for the sole reason of showing you where the center or the eye of the storm could go. So, for example, the eye of the storm, the middle of the storm, could go as far west out there as like Apalachicola or as far east of, towards like Tampa. So, no, the cone is not where the effects are felt. That's where the center of the storm could track over. Okay? Keep that in mind. It's a big misconception with people. So keep that in mind. But yeah, like I said, a lot of Florida, is going to feel this. Yeah, a lot of Florida will feel this. You're welcome, Amanda. No problem. Let's see here. What will Polk get? I'm actually in Polk as well. I'm in Lakeland. We're actually under a tropical storm watch. Tropical storm conditions are possible. We'll probably get some strong winds. I'd say 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts could be possible out here. Depends. Obviously, if the storm tracks more east, that would probably increase our winds out here in Polk County. But if it goes further west, it might lower them a bit. But I would expect around like 35 mile an hour winds with higher gusts being possible. Yeah, I've been keeping close eye out here. Actually, I had to anchor down my Mesonet. If you don't know what Mesonet is, it's a scientific grade weather station. It's not like the ones you buy on Amazon. It's like a $3,000 equipment I bought. I had to anchor it down. I got more stakes for it, so I had to anchor her down. We're gonna get some cool data with the storm here. I'm gonna be recording it, so doing some research on the back side of it too. So not only am I helping you guys out with, but I'm actually doing a research project with it too. So pretty cool. What's up, Jonathan? Hope you're doing good. I'm in Pinellas County. I'm looking, or how am I? Look, fourth floor of an apartment. Let's see. Where is? I know Pinellas. Is it Pinellas? I think Pinellas County. Let's see. Let's see if it'll pull it up. Okay, so you're okay. Oh yeah. This is out there by like Clearwater. Yeah. So obviously this region is going to get hit pretty good. You're under a hurricane watch, so hurricane conditions are possible. Are you on the coast? That's the question. Are you on the coast? Because the areas here is expected to be surging 5 to 8 foot. Here's the latest graphic, guys, from the Hurricane Center. So storm surge forecast, you can see Tampa Bay, out there by, and where you're at, like Clearwater area. 5 to 8 foot of storm surge out there is a possibility. So, yeah, that could obviously be a big issue. More towards the east side. Okay, well, even then, still the Bay area will be in around 5 to 8 foot of storm surge, meaning that the water is going to be 5 to 8 foot above sea level. So, depending on tidal forces, it could be a little higher too. We'll have to see. But yeah, definitely. But if you're on a fourth floor, obviously that's high. It's going to be above that line, but I think you'll be fine. It just that's one of those hard things. I think there might be some evacuations already issued for those regions. Like I said, I could be wrong on that, but I heard that somewhere that I think that there's some evacuations out in the Tampa Bay right now. Does it have a barometer also? Oh, you bet it does. You bet it does. Here, let me show you a photo of it. I know this is a little off topic from the subject, but I want to go ahead and show you. Like, so yeah, I'm doing a research thing here too. So let's see here. Here, let me bring you back here. So I have a weather station. It's actually actively logging data right now. You can see, like, I have wind speed, pressure. So this is our wind speed, pressure, all kinds of cool stuff. But yeah, here's a quick little photo of it. Go to site information, all my equipment. There's my station. Look at it. She's a beauty. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing some research on the storm too as it makes landfall. Let's see. So yeah, looking at the path, currently just out of Parents Path in Ellington. Gotcha. Let's see where Ellington is. Let me just double check on that. Okay. So they're actually in the hurricane watch. It depends because there's little channels here, little river, Manatee River. There will be some swelling in the river there too. So keep that in mind. If they're on the coast, there will still be some flooding for those regions there too. yeah, I mean, obviously hurricane conditions possible. There's going to be some really strong winds out there too. And like I mentioned, Tampa Bay area could be seeing around 5 to 8 foot of storm surge. So I would tell them to be prepared for that storm because they're probably going to get it pretty good. I'm an evac Caesar planning it by you right now. Gotcha. Let's see. I may have answered this, but what's the thing struggling with? It's not really struggling. It's just still trying to get itself organized. You know, all storms go through this. They start out as a bunch of thunderstorms, and then they start rotating, and then they become better organized. I wouldn't say it's struggling. As a matter of fact, it's actually in a really good environment for development. So from here on out, the storm's going to be getting a little stronger. Here's actually the current view in infrared. We're starting to get some more convection towards the center, too. So that's better. But a lot of heavy storm activity on the eastern side of the storm right now. So there's the Yucatan Peninsula. Here's Cuba. I know it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, there you go. So there's Florida, Cuba, Yucatan. Absolutely. Good morning, Brett. Here it has a huge wind field. Yeah, it does. And that's the thing, guys, is that, you know, even if you're not in the cone or near the cone, if you're in Florida, you're going to feel the storm, you know, more than likely. I mean, here, let me show you guys. So this is the wind field of the storm. I mean, you can see it. Here's the GFS model, which suggests as we make landfall, there is also going to likely be some really strong winds along the northeastern Florida coast and the Georgia coast as well. You know, we could be near tropical storm force winds out there, the point of landfall, and which, you know, as of now, there's nothing on the surge map, but I do think it could cause some coastal swelling. It wouldn't be as significant or as severe, obviously, as the area towards like the Big Bend, but it would probably swell up a little bit. Regardless, there would still be some pretty nasty conditions. I would not be surprised if they extend some of those watches up into those regions at some point. We'll see. We'll have to see. We have Helene now. Is it official? Is it official now? Hold on. Has it updated? Ah, you're right. Look at that, man. Wait, how is a tropical storm with only 35? 35 sustained minimum pressure. I thought it had to be 40 or above. What's going on here? Anyways, let's see. 100 aircraft investigating the disturbance. I think this partially updated. I don't know if this is fully updated or not. Regardless, it is now officially Helene, everybody. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Helene. Let's see here. Good morning. How will Macon, Georgia be? Good morning to you too, Eric. We're doing good, man. Let's see here. Macon Bacon. Let's see. Where is Macon Bacon? Macon, Georgia. Okay. Yeah, so you're out there in the central side. So there's actually a really good shot that the storm will still be a tropical storm as we approach your area. You know, just shyly to the south of you. Let's see here. Let me actually measure that real quickly. So to your south. Oh, shoot. Wrong thing. Hold on. I'll get it eventually. There we go. So you're about 67 miles to the north of that last marker there. Or the closest marker. So that would be, you know, around 70 sustained overall. So that is certainly interesting. No, it's actually a tropical storm. Sustained to 46. They put a typo. Yep, there you go. Now it's updated. No, it's not a depression. It's a storm now. Yeah, there you go. 45 sustained. They finally updated it. It was just a little bit iffy there. 1,000 millibar, 45 sustained. Yep, there you go. She's officially a tropical storm. Let's see. Hurricane and storm surge watches remain in effect for a portion of the Florida Gulf Coast. Tropical storm Helene forms over the northwestern Caribbean Sea. Let's see. Is this the... Oh, this is not the new graphic. Okay, so we'll get that new graphic here pretty soon. Let's see. Yep, just got a notification. Did you get that too, Roadster? Do you have my radar installed? I have those updates. Let's see here. But yeah, so Macon, Eric, it'll probably still be a tropical storm by the time we approach you, or by the time it approaches you. So keep that in mind. There's also going to be a good amount of rainfall there too. Latest projections have you right around like 4 to 6 inches. Yeah, here's the latest WPC forecast, guys. You can see the table on the right-hand side here. I mean, we're going to get a good amount of rainfall. Throughout a lot of the Midwest, portion of the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, Tennessee Valley, Southeast. We're gonna feel it. A lot of rain out in that region there. So we'll definitely need to still watch it up in those regions. Now, by the time we get to that area, the storm is going to be mostly weakened with the winds and stuff like that. There's not going to be much more winds. I mean, it'll be probably a little gusty in some spots, but the main threat will be for flooding out there. And matter of fact, I think we got a moderate risk for flooding. Yeah, look at that. Moderate level 3 out of 4 threat for flooding throughout the Panhandle, the Big Bend of Florida, cutting through like a lot of southern central portions here of Georgia, even acted towards like western South Carolina, in the level 3 out of 4, which at least a 40% chance of flooding probability. So, and that's within 25 miles of a point. I think that new graphic might be out here now. Reason I said that is because my little cone over here. Did it move east? Wait a minute. Oh, whoa! Hold on a minute. It actually moved west. Hold on a minute, you guys. Let's hop over here real quickly. So here's the new cone. The track didn't update yet, but the cone now includes Panama City again, I think, and they pulled it out of Tampa. Interesting. Yeah, when that new official graphic comes out on the NHC's website, we'll show that. You're welcome, Eric. No problem, man. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, where are we going to be? Perfect. There's the new cone right there, guys. So, yeah, look at it. It's Panama City. Oh, the old graphic came back. But they have the track. So, at the point of landfall will be in the evening of the 26th overall. Sustained winds of 115 at that point with gusts up to 140. We're going to be gusting in Cat 4 realm. 130 and above is Category 4, so we're still like 15 short from Cat 4 at landfall. So it's going to be, regardless, a very strong storm. How about Palm Bay? Let's look at Palm Bay, see what's going on out here. Let's see, Palm Bay, Florida. Okay, so yeah, you're on the eastern side. So there's actually tropical storm watches to the county west of you. I'm not sure the name. It's south of Orlando. Wait a minute. Is that Osceola? I could be very much wrong on that. Anyways, so yeah, west of you, there's those watches. You're not in effect for those watches, but like I said, you're still going to feel the storm overall. Like rainfall totals, you'll be right around 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. And whenever it comes to like the models and stuff, I mean, you can even see that still the eastern coast will likely still experience some strong winds out there too. So, yeah, it did move a little bit to the west here. It sure did. Yeah, the cone now goes back into Panama City. It didn't do that previously, and we actually had that cone. I mean, you can actually see it now. How part of the cone was in St. Pete in the last update. Whenever it updates again, it'll bring it to the west. Tropical storm watches in effect for Panama City. Were those there? I don't remember if those were there or not. See, Terry says I'm in Tampa. Yeah, you definitely want to be prepared for it in Tampa. Absolutely. I mean, like we mentioned, there's going to be a good amount of surges out in that region. I mean, we're talking a good 10 to 15 foot storm surge along the Big Bend, and then for Tampa, a good 5 to 8 feet of storm surge. So Charlotte Harbor 3 to 5 foot out there, 2 to 4 foot from Bonita Beach to Flamingo. Dry Tortugas and the Keys could see about 1 to 3 foot of storm surge. Let's see. Janice says, thank you. You're very welcome, Janice. No problem. Like I said, we're here for you. We're here to help y'all out. If you guys could do me a favor, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. And most importantly, share this to like your Facebook wall, your Twitter wall, just to help spread the word, guys. Because like I mentioned, this is very important information, and we're here to help you guys out. We're gonna keep y'all weather aware, and we're gonna keep you guys prepared. Okay, so if you could do that for us, that'd be much appreciated. Doesn't Tampa Bay flood easily? Yeah, it does. Sure does. Is Daytona Beach going to get hit? So Daytona Beach will likely experience some gusty winds along the coast there for sure. We'll see about what they do, what they ultimately end up doing here. Here, let's pull up the GFS here again. Go to this view. So it's weird because this one shows it a little bit weaker. But so out there towards like Daytona, the winds could be... That's like 45 knot wind barb. That would be in tropical storm conditions. Yeah, no, Daytona Beach will likely feel some tropical storm conditions possibly. I would not be surprised if they eventually end up extending those watches towards more of the inland northern portions of the state. Up here towards like Jacksonville potentially as well. Eventually, that will likely occur. But no, yeah, you'll feel some of it, and even then, like I said, with the rainfall and stuff too. I mean, you're going to be in a good 2 to 4 inches of rain. That's the latest forecast there. Let's see, 12 foot of storm surge, absolutely nice. I can finally swim back to my backyard. Hey man, you're bringing that ocean view to your house. You're really increasing that real estate property. I'm sorry. You gotta shine a little bit of joy. I mean, come on, man. It can't all just be, scary stuff. Anyways, oh, there you go. There's the new cone. There we go. She's back up here. So, yeah, Cedar Key, as far east as the cone goes, to Panama City now. So, that is... So, like I mentioned, that's not where the effects are going to be felt. That is where the center or the eye of the storm could track into. Okay? So, keep that in mind. Like I mentioned, Florida in general is going to feel this. I mean, literally most, if not all of Florida is going to feel some strong winds from the storm here. Obviously, like I mentioned, some more than others, of course. But, What's up, Divas? Hope you're doing good. I live in Central Florida. Are we going to get hurricane storm winds? So not hurricane force winds on the interior portion. Depends where you're at. Us in Central Florida, I'm in Polk too, so I'm kind of in Central Florida as well. So us here, we're probably going to get tropical storm conditions. The way it looks like, so that is something that we need to watch out for. But whenever it comes to it, though, I mean, hurricane conditions, no. The thing should be west now. If this thing obviously, which it won't. More than likely, if it did decide to go more inland, then it would bring more hurricane conditions inland. But it's going for the Big Bend right now. So, see, getting ready to flee in Clearwater Beach. Yeah, Clearwater Beach could definitely feel this pretty good. There's already hurricane watches in effect. You guys could see upwards of 6 to 8 inches of rainfall out there. Here, let's hop back to the graphics here. I mean, you're right around that 4 to 6, but there's a little sliver there of 6 to 8. And then, of course, surges out there is a good, 5 to 8 foot, above sea level. So, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We have Helene. What's the pressure? 1,000 millibars. Let's see. Will Griffin, Georgia be under any high wind or tornado threat? So Georgia in general, yes, we do need to watch out for high winds and stuff because there's a chance. It depends on where. Let me pull this up for you. Let me pull up Griffin, Georgia. Yeah, so you're kind of more of the upper portion. So you're not going to see like hurricane conditions. By the time the storm gets there, it'll be a tropical storm. Yeah, it's actually the new update here. They actually have it still remaining a kind of a low mid-end tropical storm as we approach like towards Atlanta there. We're sustained around 50, gusts up to 65 at that point for the morning of the 27th, which is Friday. So I mean, you'll definitely feel some winds. Now, where was? Let's see. We're gonna pull up Griffin, Georgia again here. So it depends. It really depends. Now, if the storm takes a much more westerly trajectory, that would put you in what we call the dirty side of the storm, which is the area that's capable for tornadoes. Because that's where the instability is at. That's where the thunderstorm, or the tornadic fuel, we'll call it, is. Not to mention, we have our winds that are aggressively changing wind speed and direction with altitude, which that gives conditions for tornadoes. However, if you are west of the center, so say the storm goes over this way, that would put you in the clean side, which would be a better scenario for you, but it would put areas further east of you in a little bit more of a worst case scenario. But we'll just have to watch and see. Yeah, that's where there's still a big margin of error here. I mean, the center could go as far west as eastern Alabama or as far east as western South Carolina. So there's still a good little gap here. But yeah, so it just depends on where the center goes, where it goes. Let's see. Headed towards Kissimmee. A family that lives there will be fine. Lived here 37 years. Yeah, Kissimmee will be fine. Those areas are inland and, away from the coastal concerns, of course. Yeah, I mean, hurricanes, while they do cause problems inland, they can cause definite, issues with trees and power outages and, just damage. Hurricanes are mostly bad for the coasts. And the people who live nearby the coasts. But the effects will still, be problematic for some of the people inland, too. Right side's always strongest. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Let's see here. How will it be in Panama City? So, Panama City, actually, we have a tropical storm watch in effect for you guys. Tropical storm conditions are certainly possible. The center of the storm is going to be east of you. So, you're definitely going to get some strong winds and stuff like that out of it. Out there, as of now, you're not expecting a bit of storm surge. Out there by, Port St. Joe could see 1 to 3 foot of storm surge. Apalachicola could start picking up maybe towards 5 to 10. Quite a jump there. So this side could see about, 5 to 10 foot of storm surge, while this side could see 1 to 3 foot. So, so for the areas out there towards Panama City, tropical storm conditions are possible. Rainfall amounts could be pretty high, actually. So currently, the Weather Prediction Center has the region out there kind of in 6 to 8 inches of rainfall, slightly more to the east here, 8 to 12 inches. So yeah, certainly a good amount out there. How long until landfall? The landfall is going to be taking place on the evening of Thursday, the 26th. The Hurricane Hunters went back. They've been doing multiple missions. Let me see if they're actually airborne right now. I think they might. Yep, they are. Yep, so we've had multiple missions. We do have one plane in the storm right now. Indeed, we do. Wait, when was that? 1415 Zulu. Whoa, that might be a little outdated. Yeah, that was what, an hour ago? Well, we haven't had a position or update here in a few, but they could be heading back home now at this point. Let's see here. What about? Oh, I already did Panama City. Okay. Let's see. Pensacola. So Pensacola is going to be mostly fine. You guys are far enough from the storm where there's going to be little impacts. Now, don't get me wrong. It'll be pretty windy. I mean, you'll definitely feel some gusty winds, but it's not going to be anything super crazy for you. So Pensacola, you guys should be fine. Like I said, the furthest those tropical storm watches go is out there by Rosemary Beach, which is near slightly east of Freeport, which is a good distance away. I mean, the closest that those watches get to you is a good 70 miles to your east. You'll be fine. Just a little bit of gusty winds, maybe a little bit of rain too. 2 to 4 inches maybe, locally higher. What will Tampa get? So Tampa is actually, I'm a little concerned for Tampa. I'm going to be straightforward with you guys. Yeah, so Tampa, like we mentioned, we actually have hurricane watches where hurricane conditions are theoretically possible. Not to mention, like I said, storm surge is going to be a big issue for Tampa. Like we were talking about here a minute ago. As of right now, Hurricane Center has 5 to 8 foot of storm surge. So the water's going to be 5 to 8 foot above sea level out there in Tampa. So Tampa's going to get hit pretty good. So make sure you're ready for that. Rainfall wise, some pretty good amount of out there. Towards like Clearwater, St. Pete could see a good 6 to 8 inches, while majority of Tampa and Tampa Bay could see around 4 to 6 inches of rainfall overall. So, regardless, still either way, it's gonna be a good amount of rain out there overall. Let's see. You're welcome, Muddy Lace. No problem. No problem. What about Valdosta? Valdosta. Let's see here. Let's hop on back over here, guys. Valdosta, Georgia, I'm assuming. Oh, okay. So, yeah, you, my friend. So, there's actually a chance the storm will still be a hurricane by the time it passes nearby. So the storm will likely still be a hurricane as it approaches to your west. I would definitely prepare for it out there in Valdosta. Obviously, you're not under like any coastal concerns. No storm surge. That's the main problem with hurricanes, of course. But, you certainly could experience a lot of strong winds out there. And a good amount of rainfall. As of now, projections show around 4 to 6 inches of rain out there for your area. So, yeah, a lot of rain, a lot of winds. Right now, there's actually hurricane watches not far from you. I would not be surprised if they eventually push some of those up into Georgia. I think it'll be needed. Let's see. A lot of people just look at the category. It's too much range cause a problem. Yeah, that's the thing. The gaps are huge, even in the categories. So a lot of people say, "Oh, it's a category 1. It's not going to be bad." Well, you got to remember, category 1 starts at 75 mile an hour sustained, and it gets up to 94 sustained. I think is maximum. So there's a big gap in between, and that's how all the categories are. So low end Cat 1 versus upper Cat 1, they have different impacts. They do. Not saying that this is going to just be a Cat 1. Obviously, it's going to be more than a Cat 1, but, you kind of see what I'm saying here. Let's see. KDGF7, man, coming with a $2 super chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Saying, see, it's been a while. What's the weather for 44125? Let me look and see what's going on. Oh, you're up in Ohio, man. Yeah, you're not going to get much of this up there towards Cleveland. Yeah, you're good. Storm's not going to do much for you. Storm's going to be to your south and to your west. Now, the remains will eventually go towards like the Tennessee Valley and stuff like that. But yeah, you're probably not going to feel the storm here. Other than that, you're good. Nothing big. But thank you, man. Appreciate the $2. When will it exit Georgia? Probably sometime for the afternoon of an evening of Friday. So the last marker we have here towards Atlanta. Like I said, this thing will still likely be a tropical storm as we approach through Atlanta here. We're going to be sustained around 50 miles an hour at that point, with gusts up to right around 65. This is right around the 8 o'clock marker, 8 a.m. for Friday. It'll be near Atlanta. So, yeah, by the afternoon, evening, it should be out. Let's see here. Let's see. 12 Zulu Icon 947 millibar. Yeah, let's take a quick peek at the models here, guys. We're gonna do that real quickly. Let's see. We should have the 12 Zulu GFS coming out soon. Yeah, literally should be coming out here pretty soon. So GFS, latest GFS, obviously has landfall in the Big Bend there. Right around 8 o'clock p.m. on the 26th, which is for Thursday. 961 millibar low. That would put us, well, like I said, you can't always determine that straight off of pressure. Let's see. I got to figure out how strong. Okay, so that would be right around... That shows like 74 knots maximum. That's like Cat what, Cat 1, Cat 2, according to GFS, the latest run there. That is a big drop. CMC, let's see here. We're going to hop down to Southeast. CMC model, we got the Zero Zulu, is our latest one. Shows 979 millibars. Icon, woo, yeah. Icon, the latest one, shows 947 millibars. Much stronger. Yeah, I mean, like I was showing you guys. KDGF, man, thank you for the $1.50. Appreciate that. So, you know, as we make landfall, there's also going to be impacts along the East Coast as well. You know, so we're still going to be feeling some, you know, some impacts along, you know, the East Coast out here as well. So areas, you know, near coastal Jacksonville, Daytona Beach, stuff like that could be experiencing some, you know, still some gusty conditions, tropical storm conditions potentially as well. And that'll also continue up into the Georgia coast as well, I believe. So keep an eye out there for that. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, you guys. Davis coming in with a $3 super chat. Thank you so much, Davis. And KDGF again, man, with the $1 super chat. Thank you, dude. I appreciate y'all's support. Thank you, guys. Davis, thank you. KDGF, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. That is absolutely very, very sweet. And now we have a Venmo coming in from Dog Cash with a $10 donation, my friend. Thank you, guys. Y'all don't have to do that. Dog Cash says thank you. Dog Cash, you're welcome. I appreciate that, my friend. Seriously, thank you. That helps keep our programs up and running. Helps keep everything going. So thank you, seriously, for our supporters. It means the world to me. It does, and it helps keep us going. So appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your support. Let's see. What about Hardy County? Let's see. Let me pull up Hardy County here for you. Let's hop on back over here real quickly. Hardy County, Florida. Let's see here. So Hardy County is in a tropical storm watch here, where tropical storm conditions are possible. So, yeah, you could see some tropical storm conditions out there. Whenever it comes to its like rainfall, there's going to be a good amount of rain out there. If we hop over here to that view, I mean, in your region, there's going to be a good 2 to 4, locally higher towards the coastline. So that's that. Dude, KDGF, man, coming with a $5 super chat. Dude, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Big shout out goes to you, man. Thank you so much. I really do deeply appreciate that. Very, very much. Thank you. What about Central Florida? 34731. Here, let's see. Let's see what we got going for you, my friend. Let's see. We're going to hop on back here. Yeah, so this area is in a tropical storm watch too. You're far enough inland where a lot of those winds are going to be depleted, so you're not going to experience, you know, hurricane force winds. But there will probably be some tropical storm conditions. Same thing applies. You know, a good 2 to 4 inches of rainfall there could be expected. So, you know, if you're in an area that's, you know, prone for flooding, certainly keep an eye out there for that overall. But yeah, so tropical storm conditions is expected. Look at this. So 20 to 30 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 50 to 55. What does it have for Polk here? 20 to 35 with gusts up to 50. That's for me, actually. Could get a little gusty. Let's see, no tornadoes then, I hope. Yeah, so that is another thing. Is since the core here is going to be to the west of the peninsula. That's going to allow for the peninsula itself to be in a tornado threat. So, you know, me included, with a bunch of folks out here towards the region in the peninsula itself, absolutely need to watch it. Let's see here. KDGF, dude, with the $1.51. My man is really showing some support. Thank you so much, dude. No way, bro. Benny with a 20. Holy cow. Benny, thank you so much for that. That is like really sweet of you. I really appreciate that, Benny. Thank you. That'll help pay for my program for a month. That means the world to me, guys. Thank you so much, y'all. You guys are amazing. Seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart, everybody, for your support. It truly means a lot to me, and it helps keep us going, man. So thank you guys very much. Benny, thank you for the 20. That is really nice of you. KDGF, everybody, obviously, thank you. And even to our supporters, thank you all for hanging out with us here and said stay in weather wear, but thank you. Seriously, Benny, thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. That is very, very sweet of you. Let's go and hop back over here to the surges. So once again, if you guys are just tuning in here, this is our latest surge map. Tampa Bay area could be, like I said, we could be seeing a good 5 to 8 foot worth of storm surge out here. So that is something we need to watch out there for. Obviously, that includes, like St. Petersburg, Clearwater area, of course, Maine, Tampa, coast here. Those regions could see a good, like I said, 5 to 8 foot of storm surge. Now, by far the heaviest of that's going to be in the Big Bend region. As you can see, a good 10 to 15 foot storm surge where the landfall is going to take place is, expected. So there is certainly going to be some really devastating amounts of water rolling inland. So, honestly, if you're out there in the Big Bend, if you live in the Big Bend, please, consider evacuating, honestly. I mean, because that is a lot of water. If you're on the coast, that is a big problem. So please consider that. Like I said, I want you guys to get ready. If you guys can, get ready today, please. I mean, tomorrow is your really last day to prepare for the storm because Thursday is the day of the impact. We're going to start feeling impacts more than likely late the 25th for southern Florida. So as we roll into like late Wednesday, so late tomorrow night, you can see 11 p.m. for Wednesday. Out there towards like the dry Tortugas and the Keys here, we could start seeing like tropical storm conditions out in some of those regions. Depend on the model. Some impacts out there towards the southwestern coast as well. Overall, let's see. Julie says, "Come on, folks, let's give Andrew some likes." I appreciate that, Julie. Thank you. Let's see here. The scary part is going to make landfall during the night. Yeah, I mean, we still not entirely too sure where landfall or what time, but it seems like models are starting to agree around the evening of the 26th. So, yeah, it will likely be a landfall near sunset, roughly. I know people in St. Pete said they got water last time. So if you can, try to contact them and let them know. I don't know if they probably know the news, but just to make sure, contact them, let them know, tell them about it because like I said, this is going to be a pretty bad storm potentially for the Tampa Bay too. I mean, you can see Tampa Bay getting kind of scraped by there, and like I mentioned, we do have hurricane watches in effect for Tampa Bay. St. Petersburg, Clearwater area. Even, like I said, the hurricane watches go all the way down to, like, Englewood, almost to Port Charlotte. But Port Charlotte's in tropical storm watches as of now. So, let's see here. Adriani says, thank you. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. You're very welcome. Christy with a 2. Thank you so much, Christy, for the $2 super chat. I'm in Valdosta, Georgia, where we get the I Like Adalia. Let's see here. So I do know that southern, I definitely do know that southern Georgia will definitely feel some of the effects with the storm here, and it will likely still be a hurricane as it approaches you. Yeah. So you, my friend, are in a region I definitely want to watch. I would not be surprised if if the way trends continue and if we continue to be like this. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get some like hurricane watches and maybe even warnings eventually for this area. It really depends, but the models and everything still has this thing being maybe a Cat 2, Cat 1 as we approach this region. I would count on hurricane force winds. It's obviously, I would prepare for the worst. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. If you haven't already, I would honestly recommend going and getting some food, non-perishable foods. Here's the list I made for everybody here. I managed to make this for everybody. Kind of giving you a good list of things to have, kind of like your little homework sheet here. So yeah, food and water. I mean, once again, non-perishable. Expect the power to go out and expect all the all the cold food to go bad. So that is what you need to expect. Like I said, non-perishable food, raviolis, whatever, something that you can eat out of the can or, don't really have to keep it cold or whatever. Food and water, flashlight, extra batteries. Yeah, make sure there's extra batteries. Important documents, once again, like, insurance papers, Social Security, birth certificates, whatever. Keep that with you. Make sure you have all that portable phone chargers. Make sure they're charged, too. Put gas in your car and generator, and of course have a first aid kit as well. Definitely is something that you want to have. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a list of things you want to have, and also an optional one is like a weather radio. If power goes out, you can get some updates from the tower, from the radio towers. So, so keep that in mind as well. Just make sure you have extra batteries for that though too. For your radio and your flashlight. Do I think coastal North Carolina will get a tropical storm watch? Tabletop, I don't. For you, I don't know. I wouldn't count on it as of now. The models are still kind of all over the place as we approach like North Carolina. I think it would. I mean, it wouldn't be completely ruled out, but we'll have to see. A lot of people act like they don't know what's coming in. An excuse not to evacuate. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Don't be hard-headed, guys. You got to take these things seriously. Especially on the coast. These things, they're obviously better inland. They still impact inland areas, of course, but the worst of it's on the coast. So please don't brush it off. Okay. We're here for your safety and everything like that. If you have to evacuate, just evacuate, man. There's no reason risking your life just by staying there. Okay. Let's see. Thank you. I'm a hurricane magnet. We've gone through hurricane every year. First major was Andrew. Wow. Yeah, well, Andrew was a small little storm. Matter of fact, a little bit of a fun fact. My name is actually Andrew. Yeah, well, Andrew was a small storm. Cat 5, though. It was a beast. Hit Miami. Yeah, but that Andrew was small. This storm is a lot bigger than Andrew was. A lot bigger. So let me show you guys back to the models here. Once again, like I said, the cone is not where the effects are going to be felt. That is where the center or the eye of the storm could go. So, for example, you can see on the cone above me here, the eye, the core of the storm could go as far to the west as Panama City, or as far to the east as Cedar Key area. Okay, so obviously there's a big error margin, but the effects are going to be felt throughout a lot of Florida. I mean, you can see the wind field of this thing. There is a massive, massive wind field that's going to be causing a bunch of strong winds for a lot of places in Florida, and not just the cone. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, keep that in mind. Let's see. Can I explain why the tropical storm force wind probabilities on a map look so insignificant? They don't look as crazy until you get to like the day of, or the day before landfall. That way they can kind of work out any error. So they basically just once the storm gets closer, those probabilities will increase. They do that the closer you get to the storm. Let's see. Gina says, "Hi, everybody. I'm in Germany. Wow. Worried about my parents. They live in Pensacola. Any idea if that area is affected?" So Pensacola will actually be fine. Also, hello from the U.S. Hope you're doing good over there in Germany. But, yeah, Pensacola will be fine. There will probably be some strong winds, but the worst of it's going to be far to the east of Pensacola. As a matter of fact, there's not even tropical storm watches in effect for those areas. So, yeah, they'll be fine. Your parents will be fine. Let's see here. It's starting to develop now. Yeah, it's actually a tropical storm now. She just got updated to a tropical storm. My boss discounts the storm because probability maps, but I know he's misunderstanding them. They show a small sliver of chance for hurricane force winds in the chart they have up right now. Yeah, that probability will only increase as we get closer to landfall. Let's see here. Did I say Andrew was a small storm? Size-wise. Strength? No, it was a strong storm, but a small little guy. I mean, compared to Florida, compared to this storm is a lot bigger than Andrew was. So, let's see. What about Citrus County? Let's take a look and see what we got going on for Citrus County here. See. By the way, guys, if y'all could do me a favor, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Most importantly, sharing this because, like I said, this could be very helpful information for people. Just trying to get it out to as many people as possible to help out y'all. Okay, so for Citrus County, you actually have a hurricane watch. Hurricane conditions are indeed possible. It depends where you're at. If you're on the coast, there's obviously much more problems overall. Now, out in that region here, let's see here. So along the coast of like Crystal River area, there could be some surges as high as 10 to 15 foot out in those regions there. So definitely some big surges out there. Rainfall wise, yeah, a good amount of rain, 4 to 6 inches is expected in that general region there. So certainly could see a good amount of rainfall. So very, very strong winds, potentially hurricane force. Definitely some heavy coastal impacts. Once again, 10 to 15 foot storm surge out in some of those regions there. Not to mention, a lot of rainfall. So if flooding's a problem for you, then prepare for that if you could. Too early for Kentucky rain impacts, I guess. They actually have the map for Kentucky already available. Here, let me show you real quickly. Right now, Kentucky could see a good 2 to 4 inches throughout a lot of the state. So that dark green there represents 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. Southern Kentucky there, like the south, central, southeastern side, could see a good 4 to 6 out there. I would let you know, though, I do want to say that those maps will update a lot by the time the storm gets there. So there will likely be some changes by the time we get there. Let's see. Should I evacuate if I'm in Panama City? Nah. I think you'll be fine. The eye of the storm is likely going to be east of Panama City. So the worst of that, it's going to be east of you. Let's see. Hi, Andrew. Hope you're doing safe and well. Yeah, you too, my friend. Whatever's left of the storm is supposed to impact me here in Indiana. The wind would be completely gone. It would be very much depleted. Yeah, it would be very, very much depleted. There would still be some rain possibly. Several inches possible in some areas. Absolutely. Here's our flooding map, by the way, guys. Like I mentioned, this goes up to a scale level 4. We have a level 3 out of 4 threat for flooding. At least a 40% chance for flooding out here towards, like the Panhandle, the Big Bend region of Florida, plus Georgia, going up, and even in the western South Carolina there too. Once again, at least a 40% chance for flooding. Let's see. I imagine the entire state experiencing at least tropical storm force winds. I don't think so. I don't think everybody's going to experience that, especially the south side, towards these areas probably won't feel that. The central side will probably feel some tropical storm conditions, of course, and especially the West Coast will. A lot of the West Coast will. Absolutely. Let's see here. Do I remember you? I have a lot of people to come in and out, my friend. Don't take that too much to heart there. There's a lot of people that come in and out of here, so it's hard to remember. I remember a lot of them, but yeah, I think I remember your name. Let's see here. GFS shows up to 10 inches around the main area. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, as of now, WPC official forecast has it up to 8 to 12 inches of rain, so we could be gusting or we could be accumulating up to a foot. Maybe locally a little higher too. Could happen. Let's see, is that 6 to 8 for the bright yellow? So the yellow is 4 to 6. You can see on the little chart on the right hand side. So the light green's 1 to 2, dark green's 2 to 4, yellow 4 to 6. And of course, so on. Dark orange, 8 to 12. And then, of course, a lighter orange is 6 to 8. Let's see. Don says, thanks for what you do. You're very welcome. I'm glad to help you guys out. We were all freaking out in Panama City because PTSD from Michael. Gotcha. Well, Panama City, honestly, that region, I don't think you're going to get impacted as bad as Michael did, of course. Right now, here, let me show you. The watches only go as far west as Panama City. So like Santa Rosa Beach to your west, it's not even under a watch right now. As of now, the forecast has you around 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts with gusts up to 45. So honestly, I think you'll be fine. I mean, of course, keep an eye out there for it, and there still will be a good amount of rain out there. Matter of fact, you're going to see probably a good 4 to 6 to 6 to 8 inches nearby. You're kind of right on the line there between the two, but regardless, yeah, a good amount of rain though will be expected with the storm. So we'll definitely be looking out there for that. Let's see. I live next to a major creek in Yellow, Cookeville, Tennessee. Gotcha. I mean, yeah, like the models in the official forecast from the WPC suggests, there could very well be a lot of rain out there towards like portions of Tennessee and western North Carolina, which would run down the mountains into the rivers there. So that would increase water levels. Absolutely. Some of the western sides of North Carolina could experience 8 to 12 inches of rain, which is similar amounts to the areas on the landfall point. So, good amount of rainfall for sure. What about Fort Myers? Let's see here. Let me go and pull this up here. Fort Myers. Okay, so Fort Myers under a tropical storm watch. Tropical storm conditions is possible. So keep that in mind. As of right now, 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts with gusts up to, 25 to 35 sustained with gusts up to 50 is certainly a possibility. So keep an eye out there for that. You could expect a good 4 to 6 inches of rainfall out there. I think there is some surges nearby. Yeah, there is about... So Charlotte Harbor's 3 to 5 foot out here, and the south of Fort Myers is like 2 to 4. This part's 2 to 4. Here, let me just show you the map. It might be a little easier. Yeah, so Charlotte Harbor's 3 to 5 foot of storm surge out there. Let's see. My grandpa lives in Lakeland. I live in Lakeland too. That's where I'm at right now. Lakeland, we're gonna get some tropical storm conditions more than likely. We're better off standing than the coast is, of course, out here in Lakeland because we're inland. We're going to get about 25, 30 sustained with gusts up to 50. So, we're going to be relatively fine. But there definitely could be some impacts, some power outage concerns and stuff like that. But it's not going to be as bad as, like, those areas along the coast. So, we'll be fine. Let's see. What impacts do I think could occur well inland? So, as you can see here on the map, they do have tropical storm conditions here for central Florida. They actually included that for Orlando in tropical storm watches. So there is a potential for a good amount of winds out even in towards like Orlando. 25, 35 sustained with gusts up to 50 as far inland as Orlando there. So I really do believe that a good portion of this part of Florida could see a good amount of wind gusts and good amount of rainfall. More of the southeastern side's a little bit better standing off. Not still going to be a little windy, but it's not going to be as bad considering the storm's going to be further away from them. Let's see here. Thanks for all what you're doing. You're very welcome. No problem. Let's see here. Hello from Panama City, Florida. What's up? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Yeah, so Panama City, once again, you're under a tropical storm watch to my folks in Panama City. We're expecting around 25 to 35 mile per hour sustained winds, constant winds, with gusts up to around 45 overall. So that's kind of where we stand there right now with the winds for you. Now, rainfall amounts here. Let's hop back over here. So rainfall from the WPC suggests you being right around 6 to 8. But you're right on the edge of the 6 to 8 and the 6 to 8 and the 4 to 6. So around that 4 to 8. We'll just do that. Yeah. But regardless, is a good amount of rain. And if you're in an area that's prone for flooding, that has problems with flooding, then of course take action. 35 miles an hour is powerfully high. I mean, yeah, 35 mile an hour winds is definitely a little windy. could cause some minor damages. Stay away from creeks, streams. Absolutely. Yeah, those will definitely rise. Beaches are super calm. Yeah, calm for the storm, man. I have a question. We're in the Big Bend of Florida on the Shawnee River. Brantford, Florida, already high. What do I think we should expect? Let's see here. So I will say this. This is the surge map. And out there in the Big Bend, the water level, so the ocean water is going to be a good 10 to 15 foot above sea level. Now, there will obviously be a lot of rain in the region there too, which will also contribute to higher higher amounts of water for the for the rivers and stuff like that. There will be a lot of flooding out in that region, so definitely would expect there to be a lot of flooding nearby. Absolutely. Let's see. Jazzy Mom says, "Hi Andrew, what's it looking like for places like Thomasville, Georgia?" Now, Georgia is also going to be experiencing some conditions out there too. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and pull up this here. So yeah, Thomasville. Okay, so yeah, this area, I'm actually a little bit concerned for your region, because as the storm makes landfall, it's still gonna likely be a hurricane at that point. Probably a low end Cat 2, upper Cat 1 by the time we approach that region. As of now, there's no watches, but I would not be surprised if they did add some watches eventually for your area. Those hurricane watches will likely extend up in the portions of southern Georgia, and then maybe those tropical storm warnings, watches, maybe eventually warnings, would probably go further up into Georgia there too. So, yeah, no, definitely would definitely keep an eye out there for that region. As of now, rainfall-wise, you're expecting around 4 to 6 inches at the moment for that region, and of course, winds could very well be pretty strong out there. So, let's see here. What's up, John, man? Hope you're good. We don't know if it could be a Cat 5. Yeah, we don't know that yet. People need to stop immediately assuming this thing will go to Cat 5. There is people that were saying, oh, this thing could go Cat 5. Well, there was a handful of models suggesting a possibility. You shouldn't automatically assume that. Some people are just out there to fearmonger and stuff. No. Yeah, we can't assume the worst right now, guys. We cannot. Obviously, it's better to prepare for the worst, but we can't assume that this thing will automatically be a Cat 5. No, I mean, this thing I think it'll likely be an upper Cat 3, lower Cat 4 at landfall, personally. I think that's probably where we're going to stand here with this. We'll continue monitoring it, of course, and we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see here. What's the tornado threat for eastern Georgia? There will likely be a tornado threat for those regions, but there is no available information per SPC yet for that threat. Let's see here. What do I think the tornado potential will be on the right-hand side of the storm? Once again, there will be a tornado threat for the peninsula out here in Florida, as well as, likely in the Georgia, maybe the Carolinas even too. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep it out there for that potential, for potential tornadic activity. We'll keep an eye on it. What category do I think it'll be at landfall? I think, like I said, personally, I think it's going to be upper Cat 3, lower Cat 4, personally. I mean, it's obviously better just to prepare for the worst. I mean, go ahead and prepare for the worst, hope for the best. It's kind of how you got to kind of take it. And once again, please consider preparing today. Make sure you're prepared today, and tomorrow is really your last day. And like I said, you don't want to wait last minute to get things. And once again, this is a little list I made of some things that you should be getting, for your safe spot. Food and water, non-perishable foods like raviolis, Vienna sausages, whatever you want. I mean, seriously, whatever you want that cannot go bad without being refrigerated, because you got to expect the power to go out in some of those regions there. Flashlight, extra batteries, of course. You want to have extra batteries. If you don't, well, that could be a problem. Important documents, once again, insurance papers, social security card, birth certificates, whatever. Keep that in your safe spot too. Portable chargers, make sure they're charged as well. Put gas in your car, generators, so you have gas to run at least some auxiliary power. And of course, first aid kit, very important. If there's any injuries, you can help treat that, because yeah, conditions are going to be pretty bad outside, and if there's any injuries during it, you can help heal that with first aid kits. And like I said, recommended. I mean, optional is a weather radio too, because if service goes out, if power goes out and stuff like that, then you'll have a weather radio there too, in order to be able to receive information from your local towers. Let's see, Jazzy Mom said, "Thank you. You're very welcome." I think it'll be at least Category 4 in landfall. We'll see. I mean, it has a shot. It does. Charcoal if you have a grill. Yeah, make sure you don't use it indoors. Okay. You don't want to get carbon monoxide poisoning. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's the only thing I have to say about that. And like I said, I mean, you don't want to be outside either because conditions will be bad. So I would honestly look for something a little more than, or a little different, a different way to cook that instead. Maybe a little propane mini stove that you can use for camping. That would probably be a better scenario than charcoal. No deer hunting this weekend. Yeah, would not recommend it. Absolutely not. Anyways, but yeah, let's go ahead and hop back over here, guys. We're going to take a look back over here towards the official map. This is, once again, the rainfall projections here. You guys can see the table on the right-hand side there. The point of landfall, we're going to see a good 8 to 12 inches of rain. We could be getting up to a foot of rain out there in that region. So there's certainly going to be a good amount of rainfall for some of those areas. Absolutely. Let's see here. What would it look like for people just outside the cone for the hurricane? So it's different per area, obviously. Outside the cone, it's not going to be the same impacts for everybody. For example, people in Orlando are not going to have the same amount of impacts that people in Tampa will be. So you really can't look at it that way. So it just ranges differently per location. Like, for example, I mean, like here in Lakeland, this is where I'm at, we're going to be seeing, sustained winds of 35 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 50. And then, of course, areas, I don't know, let's see, this region here is probably going to be, 20 to 30 with gusts up to 40. So, yeah. Let's see. I don't think it'll strengthen as fast. Could be fighting some drier. It could. Let's actually look at that real quickly. So the models, they did support for a while now a bit of drier air. You can see in the brown here, this is some dry air. So this is showing low humidity throughout the atmosphere. See, there's a big gap between our dew point line and our temperature line here. This is a vertical representation of our atmosphere. So this is surface, this is upper atmosphere. So, yeah, temperature, dew points, very much spread out. There's a lot of dry air available. Meanwhile, on the northern part of the storm, there's a lot of moisture, and you can see how close our dew point and our temperature line is together, showing that there is some saturation going on, full-on condensing, and therefore a lot of rain. But yeah, dry air could be an issue, absolutely, for the storm. Absolutely. Let's see, what's up, Pilot? Opening good, man. How about impacts on Panama City? So Panama City, as of now, we do got a tropical storm watch in effect here. So impacts as of now, 25, 35 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 45 as of now. That's actually where the tropical storm watches end as of now. I mean, they could be extended. We'll have to see how that goes. But tropical storm conditions are possible. Heaviest impacts are going to be east of Panama City. So, absolutely. What about Ocala? Ocala. Okay, so Ocala's going to be a little... Ooh, that's weird. That's really weird. So Ocala's not in any form of watch. But, east... That's really weird. Look at that. East of Ocala, there's a tropical storm watch. West of Ocala, there's a hurricane watch. For Ocala, there's not even a watch. It's got to be some glitch. Anyways, Ocala, I think, should watch it. I mean, there certainly is a possibility of seeing some really strong winds out there in Ocala. Obviously, no coastal impacts, considering the fact that, we are away from the coast here, so that's good news. Rainfall-wise, I mean, see, the rainfall projections are kind of between the 2 to 4 inch margin and the 4 to 6 inch margin, so they're kind of you're kind of right in between those. 2 to 4 local amounts higher is kind of where it looks like you're at. But yeah, no, definitely windy. It will be windy. Tropical storm conditions, I would say certainly is going to be a likely possibility. Of course, a lot of rain. Let's see here. Pilot Guy, thank you so much, dude. Category 3 supporter for 20 months, man. Thank you so much, Pilot. Saying, hey, guys, hopefully everyone is having a good morning. I will keep supporting. Thanks for being a great part of the weather community and everything you do. And stay safe, Andrew, everyone in the chat. Thank you, Pilot. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see here. Do I think that Georgia, North/South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky could see rough weather conditions from this? Wind-wise, it depends. I mean, because the Carolinas could see a bit of gusty winds, maybe tropical storm conditions, for like South Carolina, the western side, potentially. Meanwhile, it would be different for areas up towards like, Kentucky, Indiana, some of those regions. Regardless, there will be a good amount of rain there for a lot of those places, though. From the remains of the storm. As the storm gets up into this territory, the winds will be a lot depleted, so the winds won't be that bad. It'll be a little gusty, I'm sure, a little windy still. You'll notice a breeze, but mostly a rain thing for you guys out there. But yeah, so you can see the chart here on the right-hand side. Like we even said there, the western side of North Carolina could even experience the possibility here of 8 to 12 inches of rain out there. Certainly is a pretty solid amount out there. Let's see here. We are clear in Deltona. Let's look at Deltona here. Go ahead and pull this up. Guys, if you could do me a favor, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. Most importantly, like I said, share this, guys. If y'all could put this on your Facebook wall, your Twitter wall, whatever, just to help kind of spread the awareness here. We're just trying to get as many people aware as possible. And if you guys consider subscribing too, it'll help boost the algorithm. I appreciate it, y'all. So Deltona currently is not under a tropical storm watch. There is watches, however, to your south and slightly to your west. For you, as of now, there's no watches in effect. However, it will likely still be a little windy out there. Would it be tropical storm conditions? Probably not. At least from what we're seeing now, probably not. You're far enough to the east. The coast, though, might experience maybe near tropical storm conditions because, those winds do increase along the eastern coastline as well here. But for you, my friend, I think conditions aren't going to be super, super crazy for you. I mean, it'll be windy, but this area, I'm sure, has experienced a much worse. Let's see. Could I explain the timing again, please? Absolutely. So, just going to hop over here. So, according to the latest cone in the models, what they're kind of suggesting is right around 8 p.m. So, for Thursday, the 26th, around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central, the storm will just be about to make landfall, if not near making landfall, if not making landfall around that time. As we approach our way into the morning of Thursday, which is the 26th, the storm will be positioned here just off the southwestern coast of Florida. So throughout the 26th, that's when we're going to feel the effects throughout Florida. So the 26th is the big day, basically. Unfortunately, landfall is going to be at nighttime, though. That's the only unfortunate thing. That's the only bad thing here, which will make things kind of harder to see and all that stuff. So. This is resembling the track of Adalia. It kind of is, yeah. I don't know about you all, but it kind of seems like Florida's panhandle's been getting hit a lot more recently. Have you guys noticed that? Other than Ian, Ian hit near Cape Coral, didn't it? Punta Gorda area, Port Charlotte region. Yeah. It seems like the panhandle's been getting targeted a lot lately. Even Debbie. Debbie hit the panhandle. Big Bend area. I don't know. What about Atlanta? So Atlanta will be potentially in tropical storm conditions. The storm could be a lower, maybe mid-end tropical storm still as we approach through Atlanta. So, would not be surprised if, we could get some tropical storm conditions out there. Absolutely. Like I mentioned, 50 sustained, gusts up to 65. That's for the morning of Friday, the 27th. Do I ever chase hurricanes? Not really. They usually chase me. Let's see here. As long as it's not gonna be a Michael. Yeah, Michael was more west. Yeah. Let's see. Seems like here the Big Bend we cannot get a break, so we're flooded and still clean up. Yeah. No, I hear you. Like I said, it really does seem like the Big Bend has been. I feel like I've been covering, Cedar Key, Horseshoe Beach a lot lately. I really seem like I've been covering this. A lot of we've done a lot of coverages of hurricanes in this region on this channel. We've done a lot. Tabletop maybe. There is some things I got to get work on later, but I will try to go live again later. Yes, I will. Actually, yeah, I will, because I want to keep you guys prepared. So I will make sure I make time for another live stream today. Let's see. I see it pulling east all the way, making landfall towards Crystal River. We'll see. We'll see. Whoa. Whoa! Dude, man. I have never seen Florida from that angle before. That is weird. I'm sorry. I'm just... I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could... Why is this even a feature? Like, what is the point of that? Anyways. Let's see. Growing up in the Big Bend, never saw much action. Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's interesting. Why do I keep skipping over me? Oh, sorry. There's just a lot of people in the chat. It's hard to keep up with everybody. Seminole. Let's see here. Like I said, you got to remember, I'm one dude with like 300 people in chat or in the stream right now. It's a little difficult to keep up with everybody sometimes, but I'll try my best. Anyways, so yeah, Seminole is under hurricane watch. For areas out there by Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg, Clearwater area. We do have hurricane watch in effect here. Now, here's the thing. That's interesting. Peak wind forecast is going to be like under. I think they have the hurricane watches solely for the fact of storm surge. You can see that sustained winds of 40 to 50 miles an hour with gusts up to 65. That's still tropical storm realm. Even the gusts are in tropical storm realm. Yeah, like Largo, Clearwater, St. Pete area. So yeah, tropical storm force winds, but when it comes to the surges, like I said, we're seeing about 5 to 8 foot. Like I said, 5 to 8 foot of storm surge out there. I mean, that's a lot. That is a good amount of storm surge. So certainly, if you live out there by the Tampa Bay region, that is going to be a potential issue. What's up, Calvin? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. Horseshoe Beach can't handle the storm. Still badly damaged from last year. Was that what storm was last? Dahlia? Yeah, we covered Dahlia. I think we did like 8 hours of coverage on that storm. Maybe more. I think might have been like 10 hours. We did a lot of coverage on Dahlia. I feel like we've only had hurricanes come in from the Gulf last few years. It's different. I mean, it's like different every year. It's kind of all over the place. What time will the system hit Nashville? It'll be, so like I mentioned, you could get some of the remains, but it would be probably just remains at that point. It wouldn't be any tropical storm. So they have it for the 28th being out there by like the Ohio Valley. So between the 27th and 28th here, that's probably when you're going to feel it. I feel relieved that Helene's not going to Houston. Beryl been praying for those folks in Florida. Yeah. I remember in the beginning of the storm tracking it, we were determining where it was going to go. There were some models that showed it going towards Texas, but no. Yeah, Texas is going to be completely left out with the storm here. Y'all don't got to worry out there. Does this mean people in Georgia right out of the cone will be hit hard? So like I mentioned, the cone means where the center or the eye of the storm could go over. So for example, the eye of the storm could make landfall as far east as Cedar Key or as far west as Panama City. So there's the error margin. Now the effects will be felt outside of the cone by a large shot. Yes, absolutely. So, and like I said, my folks in southern Georgia, throughout Georgia is going to feel this. Tropical storm conditions will likely be felt up in the northern and central Georgia. Hurricane conditions will be possibly up in southern Georgia. So keep that in mind. Let's see. We do got the Fujiwara effect going on here. Yeah, with that non-tropical low over the Midwest. Kind of the Tennessee Valley area. That will kind of, that's why the track has it turning, because they're going to be, those two lows are going to be dancing around each other. So you have another low out somewhere over here. It's going to kind of cause the storm to kind of roll back, because typically they don't do that. Usually they get caught up in the jet stream and then they launch to the east. But since we have a low, it's going to allow for it to kind of dance to the northwest a little bit. Let's see. Haven't checked since yesterday. How's Panama City looking? So Panama City's still in the cone. As of now, you got tropical storm watches. So tropical storm conditions are possible out there for Panama City area. Likely the worst impacts are going to be east of you. Like I said, we're kind of targeting the Big Bend area here is where the landfall is likely going to be at. What kind of wind speeds are we looking in Albany, Georgia? it's hard to tell because some of the models have it still being a hurricane at that point. I wouldn't rule out hurricane conditions. At the time it reaches here, it wouldn't be a Category 3. It would probably be more like a Cat 1 if it approached here. So I would definitely count on having some high winds. You know, the exact number right now, I can't really tell you. But I would say that, yeah, hurricane conditions could be possible. But, yeah, the good news is that you're not on the coast, obviously. So you're pretty far inland. So, you know, the impacts aren't going to be as gnarly, per se. Absolutely. If you live in Florida, have never visited a place, major hurricane, you won't really understand how bad it gets. Oh, yeah. It can get pretty bad. And they're mostly coastal. They impact the coast a lot heavier. Am I on Radar Mega? Yes, I am. But, yeah, no, they impact the coast a lot worse. Let's see here. Troy says 10-4, thanks. No problem, man. You're very welcome. Of course. Anything. Like I said, if y'all have any questions, I'm here for you. You know, I want to keep you guys prepared. I want to keep y'all updated, stuff like that. So, you know, if there's anything I can do to help out, let me know, okay? And if you guys could, like I mentioned, I hate being the classic YouTuber. Everybody's, oh, subscribe now. No, consider it. I mean, like I said, just consider it because, you know, we're here helping y'all out, and the more that, you know, this can get shared, the more potential lives we could help. So. But there's a good representation of that low I was telling you guys about across the Midwest. You see that other low? So this is what we call the Fujiwara effect. So we have another low over here, and of course the hurricane. That's going to allow the storm to kind of dance around each other. See how they're kind of dancing? Yeah. So that's exactly why the track goes back inland further. Which, you know, you typically don't see that all the time. That's why it looks a little different this time. I've seen mattresses wrapped to a seawall. Mattresses? Oh, wow. I've never... yeah, that's not good. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to point that out for you guys. I've lived in Florida my whole life, 41 years, and the worst I ever got was a little fence damage from Irma. I've been lucky. That's good. Well, I mean, obviously not good for your fence, but that's good that it hasn't been anything worse for you. Is it possible for Helene to be a Cat 5 like Beryl did in the Caribbean? In the Caribbean, absolutely not. I honestly don't think it'll get to Cat 5, to be honest with you. I know there's a lot of people trying to use that name a lot right now, saying Cat 5 just for clicks. I don't think so. I think it'll be upper Cat 3, maybe lower Cat 4, honestly. I mean, it'll regardless, it'll be a heavy hitter. It'll be a strong storm, absolutely. But, dude, I can't tell you how many people are like, oh, it'll be a Cat 5, and they put it on their thumbnails, their titles, and it's like, holy cow. Talk about, like, fear-mongering and stuff. But, anyways. But, yeah, no, I think upper Cat 3, maybe lower Cat 4. Let's see, last major hurricane was to come through East Coast was Hurricane... Gianni? Cat 3 in 04, 20 years ago. Wow. It was a while back. What winds are expected in Thomasville? What? Thomasville? Is Thomasville in Florida or Georgia? Georgia, I guess. There's also in North Carolina. I'm assuming Georgia. Anyways, yeah, no, this area could actually could actually see potentially hurricane conditions out there. Absolutely. You know, as the storm, here, let's move over here. As the storm rolls in, we will likely be up into like Category 1, maybe Category 2 strength, maybe lower Cat 2, upper Cat 1 as we approach near this. Absolutely. I want you to watch it closely. And honestly, I would consider preparing for it. You know, food, water, your basic necessities, and once again, my little hefty presentation I made for y'all. Food, water, non-perishable. Once again, raviolis, whatever you want to eat that doesn't require being refrigerated. Important documents, you know, once again, Social Security card, insurance papers, birth certificates, portable phone chargers. Make sure they're charged, of course, before the storm. Gas in your car generator. Do that today, by the way, guys. You know, like I said, tomorrow is our last day we have to prepare. Tomorrow's our last day, okay? So keep that in mind. And like I mentioned, don't wait till last minute, Okay, because if you wait to the last minute, you can't guarantee you'll be able to find anything. Okay, so crazy how fast Helene's coming together the last few hours. It's looking a bit better. We're starting to get more convection and towards the center and the western side. So, good morning, DJ. Hope you're doing good. But anyways, yeah, those are certainly some things that you should absolutely have with you overall. Does this mean Central Florida is going to get the dirty side of the storm? Yes. Yeah. So there will be a tornado threat along the along the peninsula, and portions of the eastern panhandle probably. Just obviously, if it makes landfall over here, say towards like Cedar Key, it would put these areas in the clean side, or if it makes landfall near Panama City, it would put these areas in the dirty side. So, but yeah, majority like the main peninsula will be in the tornado threat, unfortunately. Got raviolis, green beans, baked beans, and tuna. There you go. There you are. Perfect. Let's see here. Dublin, Georgia. Let's see what Dublin, Georgia. Okay, yeah, so you're kind of eastern Georgia. It won't be a hurricane at that point. It would be tropical storm force. I mean, because this thing's still likely going to be a tropical storm as we approach like Atlanta. So it'll still be like lower, maybe mid-end tropical storm at that point. Yeah. So that'll be kind of where we're at here. But yeah, it'll probably be maybe upper tropical storm as it passes towards you. So I would expect some tropical storm conditions to be possible. Absolutely. Absolutely. But anyways, my friends. All right, y'all. We're probably going to head off here soon. I've been live for 2 hours now. I'm going to go ahead and go get something for lunch. I'm hungry. So I'm probably going to order me some food or something like that. Little hungry. But I do appreciate y'all. Once again, thank you for all your support, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go through our donators again, as we always, I try to always do here. Once again, we'll go live again today, of course. I'm going to give you all more updates, later on today. Let's see here. And once again, consider subscribing if you haven't already. It'd be much, much appreciated. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and go over our donators real quickly. Hold on a minute. Why is it not letting me? My thing's being stupid. Anyways, let's see if I can pull it up here. But once again, everybody, I do appreciate y'all being here, hanging out with us. And like I said, please be careful out there. Don't wait till last minute. Please prepare now while you can. Like I said, because tomorrow is going to be like the last day that we have, in which, like I mentioned, you don't want to wait till last minute here. Is there not a way I can do this? I would. Let's see here. Hold on. I could do it this way. All right, Christy, thank you so much for the super chat. We have Benny, KDGF7. We have, let's see here, Proxy. We have Dave. Let's see, we have Crystal. We have Daddy Crab, which is Dave. And, of course, everybody else who has supported us as well. Once again, I appreciate you. Let's see, Jason says thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Freckless. No problem. Let's see here. Thanks, man. Glad to find a third in. You're very welcome, dude. Yeah. Oh, what the heck did I do to my stream? Oh, shoot. I moved my funds thing here a little bit. Let's see. Thanks for the heads up. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, guys. Once again, if there's any last questions, I'm willing to take a couple more questions before I roll off here. We'll head off in about 5 minutes. How about that? So, if there's any final thing that you want me to, if you want to ask me. Let's see. Thank you for keeping us informed. You're very welcome, Robin. No problem. No problemo. So we'll be live again tonight. Not sure what time, but I will definitely go live again tonight for you guys for more updates and stuff like that. So absolutely. Thumbs up, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Your support, everybody. Thank you. Once again, final call for questions. A little bit of an overview. Like I mentioned, the storm is expected to become a hurricane here for the morning of the 25th, which is tomorrow morning. Okay, tomorrow morning, it'll become a hurricane between the Yucatan Peninsula and the western side here of Cuba. So, it's going to kind of squeeze in between that little channel of water, be a Category 1. By the time we approach the evening of the 25th here, it'll be an upper Cat 1, sustained around 90 miles an hour, gusts up to 115 at that point. Then, of course, as we continue rolling our way up here to the northeast here, for the morning of the 26th. Remember, the 26th on Thursday, that's the big day, okay? That's the big day of impacts here overall. So at that point for the morning, we're going to be sustained around 115 miles an hour with gusts up to 140. Then, of course, at the point of landfall, which will be for the evening of the 26th, we'll be sustained around 115 with gusts up to 140 there overall. So how much should Macon, Georgia worry? Macon, Georgia could see some tropical storm conditions potentially. I wouldn't full on worry. It will be windy, of course. If you live next to a lot of trees, please be careful. There will be a lot of water involved. Like we mentioned before here, let me hop you all back over here real quickly. There will be a lot of water involved, and there could be a good 4 to 6 inches of rainfall out there. A good 4 to 6 inches of rain. So keep an eye out there for that. A good amount of rainfall is expected. Good thing is that you're not going to have any storm surge up there in Georgia. Especially interior Georgia. So rain, wind, maybe power outages. Keep an eye on it. We still have like 48 hours to go. Yeah, we have about 2 days. Like I said, we have today. Tomorrow is your absolute last day to prepare for the storm, okay? So try to get it done today, guys. Seriously, try to get it all done today. Don't wait last minute, guys. I cannot say that enough. Do not wait till the last minute because, you don't know if there's going to be anything available, by the time you wait till last minute. So please go out now, prepare. I'm going to show you my graphic one more time here, okay? I made this for y'all. So food and water, non-perishable foods, canned items, flashlight with batteries, extra batteries, important documents, put that in your safe spot. Once again, Social Security, birth certificates, insurance papers, put all that together. Portable phone charger with, like I said, put your portable phone charger. Make sure they're actually charged. That would be very useful. It wouldn't do you very good if they weren't. And then, of course, put gas in your car and your generator, and, of course, have a first aid kit. Just some of the things that you really need to have. Thank you. I have family in Macon. No problem, DJ. Tallahassee could see 100 sustain with 100 to 110 to 120 potentially. I don't know about that. Let's see here. Oh, well, yeah, Tallahassee's kind of in the heavy side. Here, let me get rid of the cone here for a minute. I want to see what their watch has for it. Let's see. Latest local forecast. Potential for winds greater than 110, it says. Equivalent of Cat 3 hurricane force or higher. Wow. Okay. Yeah, definitely keep an eye out there for that. 4 to 8 inches of rainfall. Like I said, there could even be some localized amounts of 8 to 12 out there in that region. So would be a pretty good amount of rainfall overall. All right, everybody. Well, once again, thank you for joining. If you guys can, send this channel to your Facebook wall, your Twitter wall. Send it to your friends and DMs, whatever. Like I said, please just help distribute this, guys, as much as you can. Tell them to subscribe and stuff like that. That way we can help out as many people as possible. That's what we're here for. I want to help you guys out. I want to keep you guys prepared, and we're going to continue keeping you all updated. We're going to keep on giving you guys updates and stuff like that. So, like I said, we'll get through this. I get it's a little nerve-wracking, but we'll get through this together, guys. What about Orlando? So Orlando's obviously inland. There's not going to be any coastal problems out there, but we do have tropical storm watches in effect. Potential out there for sustained winds of 25 to 35 miles an hour with gusts up to 50. Could be a bit windy. Could knock out some power, of course. A lot of rain involved too. Let's see. I think Orlando's in that 2 to 4. Yeah, 2 to 4 inch zone for rainfall. Which could loosen up the ground a bit, and the winds could, knock over some trees and power lines and stuff like that. So, yeah, Orlando, that's the expectancy out there. But yeah, tropical storm watch is in effect there. Okay. Amanda says, "Thank you so much for your thank you so much, man. Great work. You're very welcome, Amanda. Appreciate it." All right, everybody. Well, I'm gonna pick, like I said, last call. Going once, going twice. Any questions y'all might have? Like I said, wanting to help out as much as possible here. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. My son lives there. Gotcha. Yeah, Orlando would just be a bit windy, a bit rainy. Orlando has definitely seen worse than this storm. So I'm sure he'll be fine. Like I said, this storm is really just a massive problem for the people on coastal Florida. Obviously, interior Florida, central Florida, could definitely get some strong winds and stuff like that. But, once again, the heaviest of it's going to be out there towards like the Big Bend and the Panhandle of Florida. Okay. I'm in Massachusetts, so I worry. I get it. I absolutely get it. I'm happy to tell you, though, you're not going to get impacted by the storm. No, but I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be all right. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up now. Once again, one last thing. Please consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button, most importantly, sharing this, putting it on your Facebook wall, your Twitter wall, sending it to your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, whatever. Help spread the word as much as you can, guys. Seriously, that would mean the world to us, and it would help you guys out a bunch. Help keep you guys weather aware. We're going to be here for y'all for the update, and we're going to go live during the storm too. So we'll keep you guys posted if my power doesn't go out, of course. How much winds will be in Clearwater? So we do have a hurricane watch. We could have gusts up to 65. The main reason we have a hurricane watch is for the surges. Surges out there could be a 5 to 8 foot. So, what about Alabama? Alabama won't be impacted super heavily with the craziness, but Alabama will still likely experience a good amount of rainfall, especially the central eastern side. Good 4 to 6 inches expected. So yeah, no, Alabama will see a good amount of rainfall out of this storm here, but a lot of the winds will be east of Alabama. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to roll off here now. Thank you for joining. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Once again, prepare. Go out now. Get your stuff together, okay? We need to prepare for this now. Don't wait till last minute. What about Panama City? So Panama City is under a tropical storm watch, so tropical storm conditions are possible. We're going to be sustained around 25, 35 miles an hour with gusts up to 45. So tropical storm conditions are possible. So yeah, more you'll be good. The worst of it's going to be to your east. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you this evening for another live stream. All right, guys. Y'all take care. See ya later on. Peace out, y'all.